They fought for him. They marched for him. Some even stormed the Capitol in his name. But now, the very people who once risked everything for Donald Trump are turning on him quickly. Across the country, MAGA regret is spreading fast. Entire towns are bracing for the fallout of his policies, and online, the once loyal base is now cracking. And now, one of his own, someone who once stood on the front lines for Donald Trump, is publicly turning their back. That's right, a MAGA Capitol rioter just betrayed Donald Trump. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, it's true, the MAGA regret is growing, and it's growing rapidly. Although it's nothing compared to the breaking story we'll be covering in just a moment, the MAGA regret is spreading across the entire country, and it's still quite interesting to see. Recently, ICE raided a construction site and ended up arresting a bunch of people, and a Trump supporter had this to say on Facebook. "Lost a lot of good men today. I like Trump, but this isn't what I voted for. This will absolutely kill the economy and construction. I thought he was going after gang members and criminals with warrants, not hard-working guys." Yeah, well, people tried to warn you about that, pal, but I'm sure you didn't listen, or you called them woke liberals. It's really a stark contrast from the attitude that Trump supporters had only a few months ago. I mean, this is how it started.
Very happy and excited that Trump won. As far as financially, obviously nothing's really changed. We're still under the Biden administration.
Now this is how it's going.
So I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank account.
But it's not just online posts. Entire towns are now gearing up for Donald Trump's aggressive cuts. MAGA country braces to suffer under Trump policy. And someone even says, we already have hungry kids. It says that people in this community are already struggling to cover the basics, and that a lot of the people living in this Missouri town are working but still rely on federal food assistance to keep up with ever-increasing costs. In fact, the CEO of a family learning center even said, the SNAP cuts are definitely going to make an impact because we already have hungry kids. The National Grocers Association has opposed the potential cuts, saying, quote, cutting SNAP would harm the most vulnerable Americans and threaten the viability of community grocery stores that are dependent upon their local economies and neighborhoods. So here you have a rural, Missouri, Trump-loving town, and even they are now bracing for the fallout of Trump's insane policies. But now things are getting even more extreme. Not only is MAGA regret growing, multiple Capitol rioters are now rejecting Donald Trump's pardon. That's right, this breaking story is absolutely mind-boggling. January 6th rioter fighting to return her pardon from Trump. She says, quote, we were guilty, period. For all the Republicans that talk about pulling themselves up by the bootstraps and taking personal responsibility, finally, one Republican is practicing what they preach. An Idaho woman who was among the hundreds of people busted in the January 6th siege at the US Capitol in 2021 is fighting to return the pardon she received from President Donald Trump, according to CBS News. Pamela Hemphill, the Idaho woman branded MAGA Granny after she was detained for her involvement in the chaos at the Capitol, now says she has appealed to a senator to help secure formal certification from the Department of Justice that she is rejecting her pardon. She told CBS, the pardons just contribute to their narrative, which is all lies, propaganda. We were guilty, period. She says, we all know they're gaslighting us. They are using January 6th to just continue Trump's narrative that the Justice Department was weaponized. They were not. When the FBI came to my home, oh my God, they were very professional. They treated me very good. She was sentenced to 60 days in prison, 36 months of probation, and $500 in restitution for her role in the riot. She was one of the 1,500 people who received a presidential pardon from Trump on his first day in office. But this is not the only January 6th rioter expressing significant regret and guilt.
This lack of rational thought prompted me to attend the Stop the Steal rally, where a violent riot broke out and we all competed for Trump's attention with a violent vengeance. The government held me accountable for my actions before I was ready. During my rehabilitation, I finally put the bottle down and was better able to understand the consequences of my actions. It was these actions that contributed to the horrific attack on the Capitol Police and resulted in the deaths of Officer Brian Sidnick, Officer Jeffrey Smith, and Officer Howard Liebengood. It was in their memory and the memory of former Trump supporter Ashley Babbitt that I refused Trump's pardon, because the pardon was both egregious and dishonest. Nothing about January 6th was pardonable. Unity contradicts Trump's lies. Thank you.
So long story short, Donald Trump is failing even with his most loyal base. Trump supporters everywhere are losing faith. Small rural towns are now bracing for Trump's disastrous policies even after they supported him. And now Trump's frontline fighters are completely turning their back on Trump.